One of my guilty pleasures when I have to stop and get gas and I go into the food mart is the wonderful food called hot Cheetos. I love hot Cheetos. I don't know if you guys like hot Cheetos. They're great, and they're terrible for you, I bet. One thing about hot Cheetos, and this is true with anybody I've ever talked about, I challenge you to just eat one, right? And I know even when people walk up to me and ask me if I want one, I just refuse it. Because I know that if I have one, I'm gonna want another, and then my mouth is gonna be on fire, and I want another, and I want another, and it's just like that. And I like to think about that when it comes to talking about things we're not supposed to talk about. And where we can look at this in our life is when it comes to gossip. And gossip is when we're talking with somebody about something that they're not part of the solution for, and they're not part of the problem for. Right, and that's really what gossip is. And we look at the principles that are laid out in Proverbs, where it says, in Proverbs 18:8, it says, the words of a gossip are like choice morsels that go down to the innermost parts. And you might recognize this or see this in your life, is that if you start to get on the subject of talking about other people's business, it kind of starts little and then it expands and it kind of gets out of control. And before you know it, you're saying things that you didn't mean to say and hearing things you didn't want to hear. And I just want that to be a lesson for you guys today, to think about that. Just like we refuse things that we know we shouldn't have too much of because we don't want to eat too much of them, I think we should do the same when it comes to what we decide to talk about with other people. If someone wants to bring up the subject of somebody else, we just shut it down and say, I don't want to start talking about that because I know where it's going to lead. So maybe think about that today. Evaluate the conversations you have with people at work or in your family, and how could you avoid the pitfall of going deep down the road of gossip. I heard this statement one time, and I just wanted to leave it with you guys today, is that gossip claims that you're strong because other people are weak, right? And that's what we're trying to say when we do that. But the gospel really proclaims that I am weak, but God is strong.